if you could improve one aspect of hiring at Topality, in your case, what would it be?
I think honestly the front end of getting the candidates in. I think just identifying the candidate pool. But if I don't have as much control over that other than referrals from existing SCs. So beyond that, I would say is I'd love to be able to implement what Jeff does at ServiceNow on the back end of being able to get educate and have the resources to have the potential candidates learn to Palti and then be able to kind of present that back to us to be able to understand they can internalize our value, our message at the 10,000 foot level. I think that would be a really positive step. And then just someone, well, we use the proxy of just demoing a solution and I can get their skills. I don't get the how quickly can they pick up or how much does the FinOps side resonate with them and their ability to articulate that. And so I think that would probably be the one thing I would borrow from. That I think would add.
And Jeff, is there anything you would improve?
It's not just saying improve, but I'll give you a little bit of concept of current dynamics. As with many companies right now, there's not a lot of hiring. The heady days of 2022, more 2021 are long behind us. By the way, just as a perspective, in 2022 we hired 650 net new SEs here. We added a massive amount of people, like a lot of tech companies did. In 2023, we've only added about 110, 120, something like that. But at least we're still on the positive growth rates, all those things. But it caused us to rethink our whole strategy, because before everything was built around massive amounts of intake and volume flow and all that. This is a lot more of a calculated approach. Well, at the same time, too, we have over the last 5 years embarked on building our own. There's going into the market for certain sets of experiences like we do today. A lot of our architects, as an example, that's pretty hard to go build your own architects, although we're attempting some of that right now. But what we've done is we've created an academy that had grown significantly in scale. It hit at one point, we could produce 130 SEs a year out of our academy, which was outstripping the demand side of what I had. So what we've done is compress that down. We don't produce as many, but it's pretty close to right size at this point. And now our strategy is not to fill from the top of the funnel, so to speak. I know that's more of a sales term, but like we have an IC5 senior SE role open, or whatever the position is. We want them to come from within the org and push the org up constantly. So getting our teams, our managers, to think in that way and to coordinate the dance, so to speak, that has to happen around that. That's actually a lot harder than it looks. It's harder than going out to the market and just recruiting people. We luckily have the brand that we get massive amounts of inbound, especially as the market's gotten tougher. That supply side has really gone through the roof. There's no doubt. Listen, in early 2022, even we were struggling with trying to find people, but that has kind of shifted course over the last 2 years. But we're doing a little bit of a different strategy to kind of fill from the bottom and get everybody kind of move up. But we'll hire strategically as we move along at the same time too. But getting our teams used to that, because that's a different process, right? Than going out to the market.
So I have a question about the interview process in itself, but before that, for the academy, Jeff,
Yep.
Is that like new grads or people trying to change careers?
We'll do anything. It's a little more geared toward that college type grad, but
Okay.
we run them in cohorts. We did a cohort was military people. We did one with people switching careers at more of a late stage, but traditionally it's more that not necessarily directly out of college. We'll do some of that, but those people that are a year to two out and have had their at least first job, and then they're kind of figuring out what they want to do, and then we kind of ingest them into our programs.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that idea. Both of the new college and then the military like those different type of cohorts. We don't obviously have a program like that, but we have actually had SDRs or BDRs, what call them, that showed interest, and then we spent 6 months or so trying to cultivate them to bring them on as associate. Because I do agree, if you can get folks from within the organization and lift them up, you're in a better spot than some random. You at least know that person a bit. So I
Definitely.
do love that idea of the cohorts. That's really cool.
Yeah, and Dave, our first classes were all filled with
There
SDRs.
you go.
SDRs that realized they didn't want to be sales
Yep.
reps. Probably first 2 to 3 cohorts were all built around that. Yeah, that and probably family members, kids, or something like that. I didn't have any recruiting at the time.